Hi guys, well today we're going to get started on the hydro build. This is going to be the walk around on how I plan to do stuff and part one of the build. So first of all, let's get talking about some parts. What do you guys think I ordered for parts in order to be able to do this build? Well, let's talk about it. First of all, I've got a 36-inch by 3/4 live axle, 2 sets of 16-tooth gears, 2 sets of 60-tooth gears, 2 sets of pillow blocks with locking collars, and 1 set of gauge 50 chain with several couplers and everything else. So, got you intrigued yet? Alright, so the first thing that's going to happen on this teardown is we need to get to the transmission in order to work on it. That way I can show you guys what it is I plan to do with this thing and why it is I need all the parts I just showed you. So, we're going to have to get the seat off, we're going to have to get the battery off, get the shifter lever out of the way, and then get this entire wheel well along with deck shroud and foot mount and everything off. We're going to have to drop the tires, and then from there we're going to drop everything else out of it, and then we'll get to the real fun. See, the first problem to overcome with this hydro build is that Craftsman put the transmission in the wrong spot. The problem is your transmission is back here, when really it needs to be up here. Ah. So at this point, transmission is dropped out so we can move it where it's supposed to go. We're going to take the brake connection, we're going to disconnect that currently, and that way the rod is out of the way for us moving the transmission. Eventually we'll cut it in half, re-weld it at the right length. So let's get that done and then get the transmission prepped up where it needs to actually go. Okay, so the problem that you can't see on the camera right now is that underneath here on one of these hydro drives the fan actually sits up above where this plate is in the front. So what I've done is I managed to find this upper pulley which comes off your standard MST 206, and I've set that over the top of where that sits. And now what I'm going to do, since I have one, is I'm going to take my plasma cutter and cut this entire edge out, and then cut a line up here in order to reconnect with this shifter later on. So we're going to get that cut out, and then keep moving on. Okay, for those of you who haven't figured out exactly what's going on, let me spell it out for you. Here's the deal. Basically, what I've done is I've taken this transaxle, which used to be back here, and I've moved it up front, and then I'm going to mount a 16-tooth gear here, and I'm going to mount a live axle in the rear. Now this is just mocked up for now. It'll actually be all the way to the rear when it's set up. So this axle will actually be sitting right in here about this point when I'm done. So it'll go from a 16 to a 60 tooth. This is number 50 chain. It's much bigger than regular chain. It's what they usually use on things like ATVs and stuff like that. And this hydro is lockered. If you've seen my previous video, I'll post a link for it on how to lock them up. But this hydro is lockered. So I figured, why run just one set of gears? Instead, I've got two. There's one also on the other side. I'm going to do a walk around with my camera and let you be able to see everything that's going on. Well guys, there you go. That's the progress on the hydro build. So share up this video, send it to anybody you know that says anything about hydros. Get it passed around. We're going to build this thing up. My goal is to be able to hit somewhere in the range of 17 to 20 miles an hour. I'm running over a 3-to-1 ratio on the gear conversion. So this was originally doing 7 to 8 miles an hour at top speed, and that was without adjusting the hydro totally forward. So if we can pull 3-to-1, we should be able to hit 17 miles an hour. This is a really old hydro and it's got a lot of hours on it, but it wouldn't be fun if we didn't have something to blow up. Thanks guys for all your support, and like I said, share up this video with anybody that's ever said a hydro sucks. Let's see if we can prove them wrong.